Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
What's that smell like?
We're fine. We're stone cold sober. This is by request. Are your hamstrings tight?
Just getting ready. This is gonna get lively.
Oh good. This makes me nervous. Do I have to stay in frame for this scenario? Because that's I'm gonna need my distance.
What are we doing here?
This is Glenmorangie Quinta Ruban.
Okay. Now
Quinta is based on the region that port is from.
this is
and
a
Ruban
Highland single malt Scotch whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
God.
They don't have a really good.
What? You're not just.
Oh, dude! Look at that!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for the mooch necklace,
That's
which you still haven't worn. I'm extremely disappointed.
Beefy. Oh, Grandin baby.
I made him a mooch necklace. He still hasn't put it on.
Pomp and circumstance.
Okay, so
you have no pomp and circumstance.
So Drama Day, who has his own show,
yes,
said, "Why don't you guys try Glenmorangie Quinta Ruban?"
Okay.
Now this is from the core series of Glen. And by the way, it's not Glenmorangie, which is how I've always pronounced it. I looked it up. It's actually Glenmorangie.
And now Glenmorangie.
Glenmorangie.
No, we're doing Glenmorangie.
So they're a super
we
classic.
just decided.
They're a classic Highland.
Yeah.
I mean, on bars across the world have Glenmorangie. And they have a core series of 4.
So
they recently renamed.
By classic Highland, you mean Speyside?
Actually, they're on the edge.
Really?
And so they can totally reasonably be a Highland.
Okay.
But, yes. So, this is a 12-year-old port cask finish Scotch.
It says non-chill.
As opposed to sherry.
Lovely. It says non-chill.
Non-chill filtered.
What does that mean?
Ah! Finally, you asked me something that I know.
I'm very sorry. It was an accident.
Okay.
It'll never happen again.
I want you to look at
apologize.
this color.
Right.
This is always something I see in whiskey that's been
this
aged in port.
It's got...
it's easier to see when it's poured. Watch this.
No, it's got some red.
Can you guys see this?
Some amber.
Look at that. It's red. It's pink.
Yeah.
Now,
Interesting.
I also have the Lasanta, which is the same whiskey but in sherry casks.
You know when else I see this color? Whenever we're doing happy hour downstairs outside your office.
Right.
I'm doing the whiskeys, and then I want to switch it up. I get a glass of red, I finish that, and then I pour some whiskey into the...
Back into the glass that has remnants of red wine.
This isn't special. I get this once a week. Ooh.
Oh, that smells wonderful.
Yeah. It's front and center on the nose. You don't have to hunt for anything there.
Now, he wanted to see us try the Nadura from Glenlivet and the Glenmorangie.
Now, while you get that, there's the caramel sweetness on the nose. And I said, hey, is this Highland Park just another space?
Well, dude, he's vicariously mooching. That the Nadura, I forgot, is a 16-year-old whiskey. Dude, well played.
The Highland, right? You said it's not actually just another space side.
It's a Highland whiskey.
So, what are the aspects of this Highland that you would say would make it different from just a middle-of-the-road space side?
I would say that it's not... Okay, and remember, this is something that somebody said that I totally agree with. The regional designation between Speyside and Highland is mostly bullshit.
Yeah.
It's a variation of shades of color. And I would say that because this lacks all the butterscotch I tend to associate with a heavy-handed Speyside.
Good smell.
It makes it more of a Highland.
Right.
Now, this is really cool. 10 years in American white oak casks. This is actually really cool.
The color on these are very different.
Glenmorangie owns a forest in America.
Okay.
They harvest white oak from that forest in Missouri.
Okay.
They let it age for a couple of years.
Like in the Ozarks?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They let it age for a couple of years. They assemble the barrels, and they lease them to Jack Daniels and Heaven Hill.
You lease barrels?
Yeah, because it's like, these are our barrels, but you can use it for bourbon.
Interesting.
When you're done with filling it with bourbon,
Interesting.
then we want them. So Jack Daniels and Heaven Hill, they use them.
Yeah.
And then when they're finished, they send them to Glenmorangie, and Glenmorangie puts their whiskey in it. 10 years. What were you doing 10 years ago? Actually 12, because they spent another 2 years in port barrels.
So I would have been 24.
Oh,
12 years ago.
Dude, that's so good.
What was I doing 24? Just really nothing.
12 years ago.
Yeah, I was 24 years old.
24. I wasn't married.
Yeah.
I was touring. I was on the road.
That was about the time.
I would have been in...
No, actually, I can't. This isn't...
No, I would have been off the road by then.
Can't share this story. Moving on.
Yeah. Okay, I would say...
it's a nice story. I'll tell you off camera.
So here's a cool thing. They're aged in ruby port pipes.
Ooh.
Right? Ooh. Ruby port. Actually, I thought it was tawny, but it's evidently ruby port. So,
no, I'm really getting the port.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's...
Right? You know something cool about port casks? They're not shaped the same way as normal wine and whiskey casks.
Does it have the spiral thing?
No, they're long and...
I've seen those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they use those for 2 more years.
Do you know why they're shaped differently?
No. I've no idea.
Okay. They're just weird.
Yeah. Now it's non-chill filtered, so that gets us back to our question about non-chill filtering.
Yes.
So there's 2 kinds of filtering.
You still haven't answered that?
No. If you chill filter, what happens is as you chill a whiskey, you separate some of the things that make a whiskey cloudy and dirty looking.
Right.
And if you filter that out once it's chilled, then you end up with a whiskey that in the glass is very, very clear and never gets cloudy even when you add water. Now, if you have a whiskey that looks really clear and then you add a drop of water and it turns cloudy, then you know you have a non-chill filtered whiskey.
I would be hard-pressed to try and think of a whiskey that I would consider cloudy. Everything that comes to mind.
I could, if I could pick the one. I saw it last week and I looked at it and went, wow, that's definitely non-chill filtered. What's the proof on this? Because I just added a bunch of water.
Let's get into some flavors that we're getting.
Wait, 46. Okay, good. So we're still safe by adding water.
Let's get in some flavors.
Oh, smell that. I just added a couple dashes of water and it just jumped out of the glass.
I'm getting some biscuity caramel.
I feel like we need to thank Drama Day for this experience. Thanks for the recommendation, man.
I'm getting some biscuity notes there. Not heavy-handed.
Mint chocolate.
Yeah. Mint.
Like the Andes Andes mints. Like you get at restaurants.
Like at Luby's?
Yeah. Here's your Andes mints to finish your dinner with.
The cafeteria where they take the nurse.
You want a mint on your pillow?
Housekeeping? Tiniest bit of salt in there.
Try mine compared to yours. I actually like the taste before water better.
Yeah, that toned down.
Okay, so here's what's weird.
That toned down the port notes.
After water, I like the smell better. But I like the taste better before water.
You can't have this.
You want to see what the 16-year-old version of Glenlivet?
No, I couldn't possibly impose that.
No. Okay, I'm gonna. You know
rude.
What? Drama Day. I'm gonna change the plan.
What?
Because this is great, and we're gonna do a whole video on this.
Wait, did I just talk you out of a whiskey?
Yeah, I want to see what the Lasanta.
Never joke about not having whiskeys.
Okay, look at these. These are both 12-year-old Glenmorangies.
Right.
But one is finished in port and one is finished in sherry.
This definitely has some more amber red notes here.
Yeah.
And
right? So this is, in theory, and I don't know that this is true, in theory it's the same whiskey, but moved to sherry. This same whiskey moved to port. Are you ready to compare?
Yes.
I mean emotionally. You need to center yourself.
Emotionally.
Do some Tai Chi.
I'm so numb that you can throw anything at me and I'm good. Let's see. Hey, guys.
I thought I was the one who was dead on the inside.
Well, you are too.
2. So you finally admit it.
That's why we get along so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're both half men. And you don't disagree.
No, I really do. Well, you know.
What is this? I don't want to...
I'm the one that wrote the Hobbit book. Holy shit, that's a different whiskey.
Is this mine?
Okay, this is a testament. Everyone should try this. Because in theory, this is the same Glenmorangie, just aged 2 years differently. It is a different whiskey.
How is it different?
Entirely. So, sherry versus port.
No. Let's, in terms of the notes that we're getting here. Yeah.
The port has walnut flavors.
Here's the thing. I say on the Quinta Ruban,
and I'm not a big fan of the Lasanta. I'm not a sherry cask guy, except with Springbank. Quinta Ruban's amazing.
And I say biscuity on here. It's really buried beneath a whole bunch of brighter, lighter notes that I can't really put my finger on. The port is definitely.
The sherry brings out a more traditional Scotch.
I'm getting.
It's closer to Macallan, actually.
Are you getting?
If I had to pick one.
So are you getting butterscotch on this?
Yeah, butterscotch is back.
Butterscotch.
I would like to try the 10-year-old Glenmorangie before they finish it in something else.
This is the Highlands where you get the Speyside butterscotch.
Yeah, it really is. It's total butterscotch. I much prefer the Quinta Ruban.
Yeah. I like port. It's been a few years since I've had...
Here's what's funny is I don't like ruby port.
Okay.
Too sweet. I love tawny port. It's like drinking candy to me. It's because it's like candy almonds.
Yeah, this is butterscotch, a little bit of caramel, and this is more biscuity.
And this is walnut and sandalwood.
The Quinta Ruban.
Or like, what are those, is it sandalwood that you burn on those little sticks when you light an incense stick? Isn't that sandalwood?
Yeah.
That's what this reminds me of. Like when you burned those little sticks to hide the pot smell. I mean, when you burn the little sticks to make your apartment smell nice and clean.
The Quinta Ruban is the... I know. Is the Quinta Ruban, you're saying that is sandalwood?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see.
I think it's sandalwood because I'm going off of like a memory of a incense stick. And it reminds me of one of those incense sticks.
Yeah, I could be... Yeah, it's
clingy though.
It's
way more clingy.
It's more sandal than wood.
And the Lasanta, he's like licking the bottom of a sandal.
It's the more sandally part of sandalwood. Yeah, these are both...
You know what's weird is the sherry doesn't cling the same way the port does.
These are both perfectly nice.
Yeah, they're both great.
But
I lean towards the Ruban.
And this is 1,000 miles away from any smokiness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's hints of little spikes, but nothing that would make you mark it as that smoky.
No, not smoky at all. Just a quick moment, what do they say? Nothing.
Nothing of value.
Yeah.
I got any comments to take us out? It's Friday.
That hitman's going to take you out.
It's Friday. I've lived so far.
Slather Vasquez. Okay, so I think I should say that I'm only 19.
Oh,
So
how dare you watch our channel?
All those whiskeys we recommended. No. We're going to get our feds busting down the door.
Right. We're encouraging underage drinking now.
Can't wait to turn 21 and buy my first whiskey bottle. So if I can get a suggestion of an introduction, intermediate, and advanced level, I do have 2 years of savings, so a budget is really not a problem.
Dude, use your 2 years of savings for something like starting a business, not to buy whiskey.
Any suggestions? So
okay, here's the thing.
Beginner, intermediate, advanced.
No.
What?
He's been watching our videos.
Right.
He can pick the ones that sound interesting and go buy them.
This fucking guy.
I know. So, Slather, here's the thing. Okay, here's what I'll do. If our commenters are generous enough, they should all comment and tell Slather what they think he should go buy.
Okay.
Because I'm the wrong guy to talk investment whiskey.
Okay. Help Slather out. What do you guys think is a good introduction, intermediate, and advanced whiskey?
Yeah,
and
please comment. Let's see how many comments we can get
He has
to answer Slather and keep it in one thread.
2 freaking years to save up for these whiskeys.
Yeah, the thing is, Slather, just are we still going to be not arrested in 2 years from now?
No, Daniel and I were talking about this. There's like a 10 to 15% chance one of us is going to end up in prison.
Yeah.
And then not too distant future.
Yeah, so if we're still on the outside and not in the clink. All right, till tomorrow, man. Crazy stay this side of legal.
What are you doing?
This side of legal. This side of legal.
This side. I thought you were saying that side of legal.
Oh, man, your
All right.
turn before we have time to miss you.
Before we are locked up. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.